Welcome
to another
Hello.
episode of the Love Change podcast. Thanks everybody for sharing our episodes, liking, commenting, and being part of this process.
And journey.
Yeah, we're sitting still in Medellin, Colombia, a week later. So
Didn't get bored?
Not yet, no. And today we're going to be talking about creating the life you desire. Okay, you came up with that subject topic. Would you please share a bit what it means for you?
I think it's pretty interesting since meeting you to observe how we actively shape the life we want to have. I think we spoke pretty early about the fundament for our relationship, and also, yeah, I think that comes along with really creating the life that you want to have, that you really desire, that you have been dreaming of. And I kind of always had that intention and manifestation mindset, but I feel that the two of us together is kind of really exponentially outperforming what I had in mind in the past.
What makes you say that?
I really feel that we both are very invested in a very active way of designing life. Where do we want to live? How do we want to live? How is our everyday interaction together? Really spending a lot intention, energy, and really being very conscious about how we are together. Does that make sense?
I hope so.
Yeah,
it definitely
that's
does
where I'm
make
coming
sense.
from.
And would you say there's a big difference in how you were designing the life you desired in the past and how you're doing it now?
I think now I really have a POW. Have a POW that is really the same mindset. I didn't have that in the past.
What's a POW?
A POW? A POW. You're my POW.
POW?
No, POW, like the lion's POW.
POW? What is it, POW?
Yeah.
What is it?
The POW of the lion.
The hand, the paw.
Exactly.
So you have a paw?
Yeah, I have a paw.
What does that mean?
Yeah, which is someone that has the same intention, has the same ideas, is really invested in growing, making the other one being the best version of themselves, etc. So I really feel that together is much stronger.
And if you did not have another person, then what will be going on?
It will be probably less, or it will be maybe a bit slower, I would say. Maybe not as powerful as it is together.
That's interesting, because a lot of people also feel at the same time that a POW slows them down. Or they have to compromise in a way that's not beneficial, or not per se beneficial, but like diverging from their path.
Yeah, that's my black and white thinking saying then that it's not the right POW.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I really feel since being with you, I really feel things come at ease.
okay.
And for me, this is really a big indicator that you're in the right place with the right person. I didn't have that very often in the past, and I really feel that now. And it's not like we are completely different human beings and we really have different opinions on many things. That's not the point. It's not like I say yes and you say yes and vice versa. Not at all. We have a lot, discussions and...
Go on, I'm just reading who's commenting.
Yeah, also just like a lot of different energies, opinions, etc. But we find a way of making it work for the two of us. And I find that pretty impressive. So
yeah, I think it's pretty amazing that you're able to say that everything is going with more ease after seeing you pushing me up and down these hills.
But it's just like, I don't know. Maybe some people would see it as an obstacle. I really don't. I would almost say enjoy it. I like to see, almost observe us how we roll with the punches. Like, I think that is a really, it's almost like a symbol for the relationship, you know? Can really, no mountain is high enough. We really go ahead and just climb.
And how do you know
Keep pushing.
that you are aware of this is the life you desire or not? What makes you realize that?
The flow, the amount of flow.
Okay.
A friend of mine texted under our last episode saying home is where the flow it feels right, and it's really true. Found it really good. It's just like it's really true. Home is where the flow is. If it feels right, and then you know you're in the right place.
Oh.
That's how I feel. How about you?
What do you mean? How about me?
How do you feel about pushing up and down the hills? Being pushed up and down the hills. Also
I feel
going
like
by
I
yourself.
need a better chair, despite this chair being brand new. I feel like it's slowly falling apart. But that's a classic. Always.
That's the amount of usage that man is putting on his wheelchair. Oh, it's just a side note.
I think I'm really happy and humbled by how much I can ask you to help me without feeling bad about it.
Cool.
Or just in general here in Colombia, how helpful people are and how glad they are to help, so to say, almost like.
Yeah, it's almost like here, I want to help. Let me do it.
Yeah, and it's completely.
Yeah.
It's not like in other places people are upset to do it, but there is this. It's weird to describe. There is this sadness that's absent here. Here, people are just celebrating life.
Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful way to phrase it. Yeah.
And yeah, of course, I've been to plenty of places where people are just happy, or in the Netherlands, in festivals and parties that everybody's on ecstasy. And they're like, yeah, it's so cool you're here. But they make a very big point out of a person in a wheelchair being somewhere or not being somewhere. While I feel like here, or I don't know the facial gestures yet. So it might be present, but I think I have plenty of human knowledge and experience to be like, okay, in this place, it's really not a big deal.
I would say it's more the practicability. Like people are just there. They don't like. I would agree. You don't see a facial expression of like, oh my gosh, that guy sits in a wheelchair. Maybe now and then I think I have seen it a couple of times, but definitely way less than in Europe. And it's more the practicability to be like, okay, you gotta get from A to B, 10 stairs.
Yeah.
Hey, amigos, come here.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Like I have the moments where I'm like super jobless. People around you taking your place.
You're supposed to be taking pictures.
Yeah, the camera woman. That's what I do.
You don't.
Indeed.
But you don't.
I do.
Sometimes.
I do. Yeah, but I think, but also just like when I was looking into the cultural profile today, it's just like the short-term orientation and really a high level of indulgence. It's just really enjoying life and making it pleasant for you. That's how I would call it. You know? It's not necessarily thinking, oh my gosh, that guy sits in a wheelchair, but like, let's make it pleasant for him. It's also like if something is not available in a restaurant, people are just like, not making a big deal of like excusing, but just like, ha, we don't have it. But we have those plenty options. So let's make it a nice experience though, you know? That's how I would describe it the best, I guess.
Yeah, besides that, I'm having a great time here. I think in the first time I came here was 3 years ago, I guess. And ever since that visit, I was like, wow, this is really a place I can see myself living. Despite it being horrible for a person in a wheelchair, just because of
that's just the level of madness in this.
Steep.
Side note.
But it's beautiful, and like I was here in March, and now we're here, and I feel very embraced, especially being in touch with more Colombians, thanks to Tirce. And
yeah, it's beautiful.
I guess, I don't know, like if you talk about creating the life you desire, if I break it down into the 8 dimensions that I use myself with the energy management, like the physical barriers here for me are great, but I feel like socially and spiritually and environmentally, I get so much more satisfaction from just being here, not even per se doing something.
Yeah, but physically, basically because of the architecture of the city. But then physically for your body, it's much better. So that is
the climate
right?
is amazing. The climate is like a big hug. Like right now it's winter, it's raining season, but still wearing t-shirts all day.
It's super comfy. Absolutely, yeah.
The outdoor living. Like, I think one aspect that's difficult about making such a decision is like, what are you gonna do with all your friends and relatives? And
you can feel the nostalgia already flooding our way, really.
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna be upset. I myself, Navid is tuned in right now in Curacao, and he also moved away. And yeah, it's a part of choosing a life for yourself. That you don't choose your old life, and in that new life you gotta figure out who your new friends are, and that's a period of discomfort and change, and requires like a childish mind state, or like not childish but a childlike mind state.
Curious.
Yeah, to make new friends and to grow new roots and
talk hand and feet, especially for me. I mean, seriously, I celebrate. If I understand one sentence, I'm like, yeah. I can say yes or no, and I really understood the question. Yeah, that's how you start. But it's also a beauty. I mean, like, you can stay in places where it's comfortable, but where's the growth then, you know? Like really being brave enough to go on such an endeavor is beautiful. It makes you a different person. It makes you like, the first day is not getting any cash. Pain in the ass, 3 days without cash. Always afraid of not being able to pay with a card. It's just, and like now we laugh about it. It was really funny. Today we got cash, super celebrating it. It's just like, that's what it is. You gotta figure out life. You gotta figure out the most simple things again, from a new perspective.
Yeah, I think it's a funny thing to think in restrictions or like limitations. To like, yeah, if you move, then you're not gonna have A, B, and C that you used to have at home, and that's a loss. While at the same time, like if you were able to step into this exploratory mind state in your own habitat, then you would be always exploring new things. But I think a big part of people is to like have habits and like comfort and recognition. For us, we've been here 10 days, and you're like, I want to go to Ola's Bowls because I found something that I consider healthy and tasty, and I'm just happy that I'm not struggling there, you know. It takes away struggle.
Yeah, but it's also not because I want to like go the same place, you know. It's just like happy to find something that
fits your desires.
Exactly, like finding the place that you love at home, or finding something that will be something I would make at home for breakfast, for example. That's more the thing. So
yeah, I guess one thing, if I compare, like I spent 2 winters, longer periods in Curacao, which is pretty easy from a Dutch standpoint. No paperwork, almost no language barrier. it didn't sit right with me, and that's why I like the topic tonight, like creating the life you desire. It's not all about sitting in the sun and not having it cold or something. I find that the cultural aspects, like I was very pressed in Curacao by the history of it, like the Dutch slavery and just apartheid and just the segregation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like here in Colombia, yeah, like people warn us still, like don't be a fruit, Lomo, I think, or Lolo. Don't be a Lolo, because you will get robbed, you will get mugged. There is a big gap between income equality and poverty, but there is a big level of hustle going on. Everybody's trying to move forward and upward, and
it's a certain level of madness.
Yeah, there's a quite
mission.
Yeah.
People are on a mission. I mean, driving a car here is really where you experience life the most for me. Seriously, this is a battlefield.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that I wasn't really feeling in Curacao.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an island. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not made for islands. I'm more made for
I think
mountains.
I gotta be a special person to be made for islands. That's what I feel.
I don't know. I think there is, like, there's so much jungle here, rainforest, like the Amazon, and agriculture, and then there's plenty of coast. It's a big country, so
There's also so much mystery.
yeah, and I guess also like a big culture. I feel like it has heritage. It's not like topics that I really considered before I saw this place and was like, oh, I like it or not. But if I step back and look at all the aspects that play a role in the Netherlands, I always have some skepticism and critique towards the Dutch attitude of them being affluent and prosperous, is because they took it from other places and people, and it literally, it's wealth built on graves. And not to say that everything is hunky-dory here with all the narco trafficking and a lot of violence in the past, but right now I feel like the country is in a state where there is a big switch between the past that was very painful and dark and brutal and corrupt, and years and generations of like internal conflict because of the American sweet tooth for cocaine. And now that problem has moved to Mexico and Ecuador and Peru. Here, people are just happy to be alive and are stabilizing, and it's not really something you see in first glimpse, but there is a big level of appreciation for the peace that is going on. Like in Europe, people have had prosperity for many years, and they're now like complaining about the social state breaking down or whatever it is that's not the way it used to be. Of course, a lot of great things happening in women equality and in just inclusivity and diversity, but I kind of like this context. Like, it's also a funny thing to realize, like, you got a choice, and like you don't have to make the choice when you're 18 to go for an Erasmus or like make an exchange, and then that's the moment you have to choose. But no, still nowadays you have a choice. Like my cousin Sar, she just got a permit to stay in Switzerland, leaving England behind. Like, she's not 100% sure where she really wants to stay, but she does know she doesn't want to stay in the UK if it's separating from the EU. So if that's an aspect that is relevant to you, moving on that. Like I think, like first of all, being aware of what you desire is a big aspect of the journey.
Yeah.
I just say to all my friends and my family, I do not want to get old in the cold. Very simple. I'm young now and I already
It's
have
a rhyme.
yeah, don't get old in the cold. It's not good for you. And yeah, then you got plenty of options. Climate change is happening. Okay, first of all, you know what you desire. For me, climate is a big aspect of it. Some people like the ocean, some people like the sea. I really like the mountains and the hills. It really is inconvenient for me, but yeah, the beach and the sea is also my arch enemy, like sand and wind. It's not gonna do me good. It's a struggle. So we've been there, and yeah, I don't know. It's as nice as it is to swim. I'm not swimming 23 hours of the day. 23 hours of the day. Yeah, half of it.
You're rolling up and down hills.
No, but you're enjoying the view. You're experiencing the continent.
Yeah.
Like the Netherlands is super flat. The feeling you get when you drive to Belgium, to Germany, is just like dynamics and horizons and panoramas and.
Yeah. Yeah, my joke is always from Amsterdam, you can see basically the Eiffel Tower. That's how flat I experience the country. Like, literally,
it is flat.
it's just
very
flat.
The highest mountain is 300 meters. There's nothing wrong with it. It has a beauty on its own.
Absolutely.
But the just driving around here, or like the complexity of things, how they're built and how they're connected, is just it engages your brain.
It gets really three-dimensional. In the Netherlands, it's really 2 dimensions, not more than that.
Exactly.
And here, it really has a 1 dimension. And that makes it really
big difference. Yeah.
Absolutely engaging your brain, makes it really crazy. Like the build of roads that go up and down and around each other and like into each other. It's just insane, but it works.
It works and it's beautiful. That's my opinion of it. It's,
very particular charm, yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. I think it's for nobody who's participating in traffic is really convenient, but I think that's the thing. Like, what do you desire? I've been very clear for it for myself. But I am curious for you. Like, you moved to the Netherlands 3-4 years ago. You said you really feel home in Amsterdam. It's nice. You don't need a car.
Yeah.
Yet you also mentioned that you're not set on staying in Amsterdam forever. So what is the things that you had in your own mind?
I think it always felt like a temporary home. That's what I had, despite the fact that I really love the city. I find it really felt like home for the first time, which is pretty impressive considering that I was 35 when I moved, and it felt like home for the first time. So I definitely had in mind to like go places, and it started with the idea that really the language didn't get to me. Something in me was really not agreeing on learning the language, and that is also a
Dutch.
sign, to be like, nah, somehow it doesn't feel like you should spend your brain capacity on that language. So finally I kind of like got South America on my own spectrum 2 years ago. I was like, I would love to go, but I never managed, so it's really the first time for me. I was traveling Asia quite intensively, but I didn't have the feeling before to be like, this would be a place I would love to live.
Asia.
Yeah. I didn't
Why
have
not?
that. Culturally also pretty challenging, in my opinion. It's just really a different culture. Like, also people that I know that live there, they were really not struggling maybe, but had quite some challenges in the beginning. And
with what?
yeah, just the whole like, you gotta preserve your face. People would not tell you, oh no, it's not possible. You kind of need almost to read the air to figure out what the situation is. It's just really a bit, I don't know, I don't like that level of like, it's like, yeah, I don't know, how would I call it? It's like, it's not real, you know? That's how it feels for me.
Okay.
Like people would not tell you no. They would say yes, yes, but, and then you gotta like get your way into that. So that's for me really difficult to handle. And yeah, I think arriving here, I'm kind of like, I really love the sea. I also love the mountains. So I was not really particular about picking a location that would have either or. I love the climate here. It took me quite some time to really get used to the city. And as I said today, I think it's really, the best way to describe it is like a city that you fall in love with madly on a second look. The first look, you're like, whew, it's noisy, loud, crazy, mad, pushing you up and down. The first days was really bringing me to my limits physically. Realizing that I should really work out more. But I don't know, I really, I think I just really arrived with an open mind. To be like, I know you love it here, but I also didn't feel any pressure of like, oh yeah, you gotta love it too. No, I was completely like dissolved from that and just made up my own mind and opinion. And yeah, I think that's how natural it could get, and that makes me really happy. That it took me some time to really see, but now I'm like, I really love it. Like the way people are. The whole charm of the city is really the third dimension makes it just insane. Like you go around the corner, you're in the middle of a jungle. City jungle, really.
Yeah, that's
and
beautiful.
Like you take a turn from the super busy, smoggy highway. No noise.
Yeah.
It's really just the amount of contrast around
It's
the
very
city
high.
is so high. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I like Istanbul as well. Istanbul definitely has the hills, like the 7 hills and the mosques. Also, like the freshness of the sea passing through in the Bosporus. Also, all the ferries and boats and bridges.
Yeah.
Crazy traffic, also, Istanbul.
Crazy. As a woman, not so easy though. That's what was my experience when I was seeing all the suppliers that I had in Turkey.
Istanbul?
Yeah. You really get looks.
Yeah.
You gotta dress a certain way. You cannot dress a certain way. You get looks. You really get looked at. And I'm not even blonde, like still.
Yeah.
In places it was not comfortable.
Yeah, I think in those cities you have to stay in the what did our acquaintance call it? High society.
Yeah.
In high society it's normal.
Yeah.
But still it's a completely different culture.
Yeah. For a woman it's not so easy.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like to nest in Turkey as well. I feel like
I have a friend of mine, and he was living with his wife there for a couple of years. And when she got pregnant, they were like, "Yeah, we gotta go back to Germany."
What?
Yeah, because it's just like we don't want our kids to grow up here. Like that was enough. That was really enough time. It was amazing. Really loved it, but now we gotta just
bring a different
surrounding to the whole setup.
Wow.
So yeah, and they live quite a lot, like quite along Europe. So they were like, yeah. So yeah, I think it's different. But it's just like what I love here, you can pretty much go to most places, and I don't like to be trapped in like staying in a high society bubble. That's for me like just a portion of experiencing a place.
It's a very small part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel I haven't really felt unsafe so far.
No.
That's of course we're also not going in the middle of the night into dark alleys, but
yeah, but even probably during the day you can feel unsafe, but I didn't have that at all. Got stared a couple times at me, but also not like discomfort, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the Yeah, the real experience is from staying here a longer period.
Yeah.
But in the context of creating the life you desire, yeah, I'm thinking about like really getting to know the society better, but also maybe doing some work that is based here. You know, of course, we can do our work online.
Yeah, but definitely, I feel the same.
I feel like it's also a level of getting to know people, getting things done.
Making business with people teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
About the culture.
Yeah, definitely.
Like even start going to a market and bargain. Gotta love it.
Yeah, I don't know how the bargaining culture is here.
I think it also exists. Yeah.
And I think one of the aspects that makes here the life very interesting is just the quality of life you get for the amount you have to invest in it. It's not cheap,
no,
but it is super. Like if you look at the quality of life you can buy for half amount the money we're spending, it's better quality of life.
Yep.
So it's not double, it's more than double because you're spending half and it's a better quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, what I feel like that creates, like in Amsterdam, if you want to live in a big house, you have to become a millionaire. Or you have to move out of Amsterdam, which is also fine, but still the prices of real estate, of consumption are very high, and not to say that we cannot afford it, but it puts a certain level of pressure on you if you want to live a certain level of life.
Yeah, so like how much are you willing to spend in percent of your monthly income for housing, you know?
Yeah.
It's really sick. Like if you really want to have a big house, not even like huge, but just a big house, you can spend plenty money, really. Amsterdam, and there is not like, oh yeah, these areas are super expensive and these are cheap. It doesn't exist
Housing
anymore.
is just expensive.
It's just expensive. Unless you lived in Amsterdam for 20 years, then you have the old rental contract and then you're cheap. But other than that, just not happening.
Done. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, and I feel here is still whole different.
I think South America, Africa is also interesting. For me, the climate is important.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you spend the same amount of money that you would spend on an apartment for purchasing it in the Netherlands, here you can buy a super nice villa with a cook and whatever, and you can get fat. Also, like the experience we had yesterday, just like the technology to be able to order groceries and get it delivered in the same hour because some person jumps on a moped, drives to the supermarket,
speechless,
selects the fruit that you picked,
communicates with you. If that's
sending pictures, do you like this guayabana?
How about this? I found this. It's nice.
I thought the Netherlands was advanced in that sense. Like you can order groceries online a week beforehand.
Yeah, great, but no. And also, like us discovering today how far the restaurant was that we ordered from yesterday.
And what did you order there? 2 balls and 2 shots.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then someone jumps on a scooter for you and drives to that place, picks it up, makes it through mad traffic back to your place, and is super happy to hand over the stuff to you. It's really insane. Beautiful. It's really insane.
Yeah, so the level of convenience and comfort here is pretty high. The climate, like Luciano said, people are spoiled that they call this the winter and it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems too good to be true. Yeah, but of course that's the thing. Like you can choose to live in a super densely populated Tokyo style 8 square meters apartment,
Yeah.
smoking and drinking your way through stress, or you decide to live on the beach in Brazil and never wear shoes again.
Yeah. I disagree on that, too good to be true. I think you really, as I said, like setting your intentions, and it attracts a certain energy. You create the life you want, and that's where we are. And I really don't think it's too good to be true. It's just exactly where it should be, and we are exactly where we should be. You know?
Yeah. On that note, I hope our viewers are also where they should be, where they can be, creating the life they desire. Do you have any more questions or sharings for today's episode?
No, I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you're good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are in the process of creating the life we desire. Sort of seems like we agree on Medellin for now, to give it a longer test run. We got to figure out when we come back how long we stay, where we stay.
Where we stay.
Not in this hotel ordering groceries.
No, I need a kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, but truly, this year has been a year full of external changes that we did not plan for nor want. And
I think this year has been a really good test track for everyone to kind of like really dig deep into the core of yourself, but also what you want in life and what is important for you in life. But also in really literally taking a new piece of paper, fully white, and just figuring out what you want. Because like nothing stayed the same. Like no brick stayed at the place it was before. And that is super disruptive and is super annoying, but it also gives so much opportunity to create something. And I think this is really like the two of us changed a lot in what we've been planning to do, etc. But it's just like that's what life is about. Like you make plans, life is like
do something else.
I have different plans for you. And obviously Corona was like the massive type of no, we got different plans for all of you people.
Yeah.
So I think it's really it was a good year to just define new.
It was a great year to launch the Love Change podcast.
Yes.
So define the new, love the change.
Yeah, love for the change.
Stay tuned and check us out next week.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. Love Change out.
Love Change out. Bye-bye.